Go on.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, Chris got it.
Okay, we never started this properly. Good afternoon, good evening. Hello to all our listeners. This is our pre-Christmas one. Not sure how many are available next week to do it. So tonight I am joined by our usual crew. I don't know where they are on the screen, so I'll just point everywhere. Peter Burke, Peter Martin, James Grennan, Danny Brosnan, the lovely Sarah Duffy, and our guest tonight is Mike Reedy. Welcome aboard, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, lads and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off with last week's rugby. Start with the doozy that was Sale versus Ulster. So, Danny, I'm going to go to you first.
I didn't see that game, to be honest with you. But
He's getting his haircut.
yeah,
And a lovely haircut it is.
Thank you very much, Claire. Thank you very much for that. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised.
Sackable offence for whoever the fuck did that to him.
You didn't pay for that, did you?
He had around the heifer.
Out the seats here.
You got a free
A heifer.
Bad.
You get a heifer.
well, Danny.
At least mine's going balls in the right ways. Still grand up here.
I didn't fucking say anything to you. I just told her that my hair, I keep telling you. But I didn't slag your hair, so I said, don't bring me into it.
I'm not putting you into it.
You're still a handsome bastard, Danny. Anyway, you're all right.
The connection.
No, to be honest with you, I didn't see that Ulster Sale game, but I was surprised by the result of it. Ulster not getting anything on the board in that game, but from what I saw online, between them, having a lot of travel disruption, getting to the ground maybe about an hour before kickoff, I think that kind of threw things off that. But they should be, I suppose, a bit more prepared for it. But worst way to start off any campaign for Ulster that way. Cheers, dropping out. Cheers, dropping out now.
Hold on, she's coming back in. She's coming back in. Hold on. There she is. Where's she gone? There she is, down the bottom there, coming in.
Yeah.
What happened to Devney? To fuck?
Here. I don't know. I'm back again.
No, you're all sound.
No, turn your video on, will you?
My video is it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 1 second now.
And I'm joking. I didn't pay me Wi-Fi bill. I would admit it. I didn't pay me Wi-Fi bill. See, it's hard when you're so far up in the stairs to get decent Wi-Fi.
Love it. I want a backdrop like that.
Oh, no.
When I figure out how to do it, I'll get you know. Sorry, I don't know what happened when it was gone. So
Is that Starlink? Why?
Nothing.
Yeah.
A sheet of Christmas wrapping paper will do the same job.
There you go. That's it. That's it. Go on, Pete. I like that, Pete.
Okay, we'll get back to talking about Ulster's demolition last week by Sale. Mike, we'll come to you as our guest. You see the game.
I watched the entire game, and I'm not going to lie. I was shocked at how poor Ulster were every aspect of their game. It was. I thought they were really off on absolutely everything. Now, Sale are an okay side. I wouldn't say they're a great side. I think they are actually leading the Premiership as it goes in England. But second is it, yeah. But I just I couldn't believe absolutely every aspect. Ulster held their own in the scrum early doors, but the line out was off. Everything was. They're Ulster's one of their strongest points is the maul, and their maul was so ineffective. I just thought they got everything. I thought their decision making. I have to be honest. I was really disappointed with the scrum half with
Doug.
With Doug. No, and like there's great hopes for him, but he's gonna have to improve. He's too slow. He slowed I mean, when they brought on that young Patterson, he made a massive difference. But prior to that, their decision making, everything about their game was off.
Yeah.
No, and that's not. I mean, they were the same in the Leinster game. Their first half against Leinster was very good, but the second half was dreadful. Teams go through these phases, I suppose, and hopefully they'll come out the other end. But the players need to step up to the mark because there's a Six Nations coming up in a couple of months, and
a World Cup.
Well, we have to get through the Six Nations before the World Cup. But
Mike, I'd actually gladly sacrifice the Six Nations for a World Cup.
I think most.
100% you would, yeah, 100%. Yeah. But something. Momentum is a great thing, by the way, and it's like I think it'd be great to win that Six Nations, to get one over on the French, because they are, as far as where I'm sitting, France are our biggest World Cup right now.
Yeah,
but that could change. Well, because the Box and the All Blacks aren't going to be far away. They're not. They'll be better by the time that comes around, and even Australia.
Australia are shite.
New
Zealand, yes, Mike. New Zealand, yes, and South Africa, yes. But Australia,
okay, I was going to come back to Peter Burke and ask what his comment was, but I know exactly what he's going to say. He's going to say they were shite. What did you think of Ulster?
I'm not
Mr.
English.
Burke.
Yes, I thought Ulster were very poor, and I echo what Mike said. Game plan, attack plan, line breaks, it was just painful to watch. To not score anything, 0 points in a game like that. And our Ulster moderators, Tim and Marty, will agree with me, and most Ulster fans would agree with me. To not score anything, penalty, drop goal, I think nothing. Hold on, Mike. Now, come on. You can't be interrupted now. I know.
Oh, sorry. I do apologize.
I know you broke with your
interrupt him. Go on, Mike. Do what you want.
No, but seriously, Mike, we'll come back to you now. 1 sec. But to not score, their game plan was all over the place, as Mike said. I totally agree with what Mike said. It was just fucking shite, and it was a very frustrating match to watch, because Doak is a good player. Lowry's a good player. Like Warwick, again, like Healy, Warwick should have gone off. That should have been a red card. But Ulster have great players. Ulster have great players, but they just fucking do it. They do it some weeks so well, and then they just go, give it a rest. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. I'll go to our resident stat man, Mr. Martin. I'm assuming you're more than likely going to have stats from me, are you?
No stats. Didn't even see the game.
Okay. Thank you.
Like that, I'm just going to basically repeat what Mike and Peter said. Really, there's a stat for you, Claire. 0, and that says a lot. I've no stats, and Ulster provided 0 as well. So that's something we've got in common. Look, I do think it comes down to team preparation. I think some people are saying that Ulster are still reeling from the comeback, the hammer and the no-show, whatever you want to call it, in the previous week against Leinster. I think it's a test for them, to be honest. There's no doubt there's talent, and there's players in that Ulster team, absolutely no question. But I think there's a mentality issue there. There's a mental strength issue, psychological, whatever. And I think basically they've been caught with their pants down on that. I just don't see Leinster. When Leinster lose a match, right, we know there's going to be a backlash, and by Christ, it's thoughts and prayers for the opposition the following week. Yeah. We certainly did not see that from Ulster. Granted, their travel. Whatever it was.
You're talking about preparation. Was the fact that their flights were delayed, and they had to fly to Liverpool and Birmingham instead of direct to Manchester because of the way it was done. They were split up, and they literally got to the ground like half an hour before kickoff.
I know what you're saying. People are saying, well, look, Ulster had a bit of worse travel scenario than Leinster. I don't believe for a minute the Ulster players, the squad, and the management will be happy that, despite all that, that they couldn't land a punch on they couldn't cross the whitewash, they couldn't get a drop goal penalty.
Yeah,
They basically
couldn't get
returned
anything.
nil. I find that very hard. If they think that that's okay, they actually need to basically pull up their ship up and ship out, because it's not good enough. It's a professional game at the end of the day. Look, I suppose the way it is, we'll see in Ulster's next game how much of a reaction there is. If there's no reaction, then there's something seriously there. That's my
Yes,
opinion.
they play La Rochelle this weekend, and there is talk of it being moved to the RDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the way it is, the preparation that'll be done, if the coaching and the backroom team are doing their thing right, they'll be talking about this with the players. They'll be, getting the heads right. Should it be moved at the last minute? But
Why is it? Sorry, why is it being moved?
Because it's frozen.
Oh,
Pitch is
right.
frozen.
Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, right. Okay.
The pitches are frozen. So, but
Well,
they're pulling out all the stops to get it playable, but they obviously have to bear that in mind. That have to get the preparation right. That okay, lads, we may be running out in the RDS, not Kingspan Stadium, and get the heads around that. But that's just it.
that's not going to be a given against La Rochelle.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
No.
Jeez,
Hell no. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter. Sarah, my lovely lady, did you see this? I love the half
I didn't actually. I didn't see it, and I'm glad I didn't see it. With a scoreline like that, that's all shite.
Yeah,
This was just pure dirt, like by the sounds of it. Like, but yeah. I hope for their sake, I hope they turn it around. I really hope they turn it around, because it makes them look really bad.
It does.
Score.
No score. Not even not penalty. Not nothing.
No, there's no effort there, and somebody needs to have a word with themselves. The team needs to have a word with themselves. You can't blame the coach and staff. The team need to cop the fuck onto themselves, really.
Yeah.
I think they were 14 points down, and they had a penalty near enough in front of the posts, and they decided to go to the corner. Now, I thought it was bizarre, because I thought you need points on the board. You need to start somewhere, and they didn't do it. So that decision was wrong, I thought, in the first place.
It was a gift of 3 points there, so it was.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. James, do you want to give your opinion on this, sir?
Yeah, I saw some of the game, but also were like an ashtray on a Honda 50. Looked lovely, but utterly fucking useless, and they were no good for nothing. And we've berated teams here for going 40 minutes at no score, and we said they're shite and they're useless. Go 80 minutes without a score. That's unforgivable altogether. Like, what happened at halftime there? They should have got the hairdryer treatment. I don't know what was said at halftime, and they didn't make it any better. And as Mike says, turning down points in front of the post was unforgivable now. Going for the corner, all big men, yeah, great. Get points on the board, get started, get moving. Like
never happened. It never happened with Connacht, James. No,
well, we've berated teams for that, but this is just like they're what, second in the table are they at the minute on the URC?
Crusail?
No,
sorry.
Ulster. No, fourth.
Yeah, they're fourth now. They're fourth now.
Oh, yeah. Where going into that game, they were what, second in the table?
Yeah.
You'd expect better.
Yeah. Well, we need better. We need Ulster to be. I mean, Ulster are kind of gone in the opposite direction to Munster at the moment, it would appear.
Yeah, well, that was the next game I was coming to. Munster versus Toulouse. It was, what was it, 18-13. I actually have a stat for this. Joey Carby scored every single point for Munster.
Yeah. Brilliant.
It is.
That's good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
So,
yeah. Well done, Joey.
Danny, there you go. Did you see this game? Did you see her?
I did. I actually saw most of that game right on Sunday, and I'll be honest with you, the better team won that one. Toulouse played right on the edge, most of us, to the edge defensively with us, and literally just didn't give us enough breathing space to get going. Now, they were sluggish enough from what I saw in the first, maybe opening quarter or so. It took a while to get going. But once they did get going, I think once they had an idea of how we were going playing, they just literally did everything they could to shut us down. We didn't create the chances. Some people were complaining online that really didn't give us enough penalties for Toulouse players being offside and all the stuff crack. But at the end of the day, he made the calls he did. We didn't perform as good as we could have. But look, we got to lose a bonus point to him, so we'll take that.
Fuck me, Danny, you're Razzie Erasmus giving out about the fucking ref there.
Stop swearing. Stop swearing, James.
Stop swearing. Oh God, you haven't
Okay,
seen it.
lads, this is no return to an hour-long Danny right now about the ref, okay?
Yeah. Sarah,
Go home with all of you.
Sarah will come to you. Did you see the game?
I did, and I'd like to say they should have invested in a yellow ball because
Yes.
It
Pink.
was bad, yeah.
It's fog.
With a flashing red light on it, Sarah.
Yeah.
Wrapped in a load of Christmas lights or something. Jesus, I could barely see them. My eyesight's not too bad, like. But do you know, I thought that Munster held their own for phases, and I'm going to be really positive about this and say their scrum was impressive. Their lineouts were kind of solid, and there was a bit of passing. And Joey did show up. You know, I'll give him that. But
yeah, he did.
I think Munster need to be a little bit more kind of vocal on the offside. You know, the ref. Oh, I don't want to. I think the offsides were fairly blatant, but the touch judge didn't help a lot. I didn't think he helped. And I thought that they only lost by 5 points to arguably the best side in Europe. But not
Easy.
you know what I mean.
Oh,
I'm
no, said
talking
you
about
know.
One of the best.
100%. Look, I'm all over the Leinster, but arguably they are one of the best sides in Europe, and they only lost by 5. So I think the thing I got was a lot of people were praising Frisch, including myself.
Fresh.
But he actually was responsible for 2 of those tries, if I'm right in saying that. Like,
Flung a pass into touch.
yeah, and hopefully that won't affect his confidence. He is and he plays a blinder next weekend. I really do it was a bit of a piss poor debut match for him. A Heineken debut for him. That's all I say about him. But I think Toulouse had their tactics right, and they were spot on. They recognised that, Munster's kind of weaknesses were in their line carriers and in their centres. And they knew what they were doing on the day. That's basically, a lot of people were criticising their pack. I wouldn't change anything. They were saying take so-and-so out, but they trusted in their French flair and they executed despite the weather. Toulouse, they really did.
The weather was atrocious.
Jesus, I was getting so frustrated looking at it.
Yeah, sure. There's a couple of references from Mike's up there, Clarendon, you were there with the minis, and they said there's times you just could not see what was going on in the game.
Yeah, I heard
that. Yeah. The weather was happening.
I couldn't see what was going on in the fucking game, and I was watching on the fucking TV. Oh, that's probably the Heineken.
Yeah, that was the Heineken.
Yeah. At pitch level, was it the same?
Yeah. The cameras made it look better. If you see him when they panned out, you couldn't actually see anything. The cameras were always looking to see it, but as soon as they panned out, you could not see anything. Peter Martin. It seems like I'm not the one and only stat about Munster on that game. What do you think of the game?
18 points, says Pete.
Well, look, it was a job and a half trying to watch the goddamn game for a start, and I would absolutely agree with Sarah. A luminous fucking ball would be bloody handy. You think with all that money and the brain power and the powers that be that say, hang on a minute, lads, it's a bit hard to see a white oval thing in this fuzz. I think at one stage there was one of the French kicker took a penalty and he couldn't see the fucking thing going through the post. I don't think the officials could either.
Yeah.
Like, lads, honestly. But anyway, apart from all that, I thought Munster would have an awful lot more to take out of that game than Toulouse would. Like Toulouse, like there was a try scored by on the turnover. Like one. Actually, I do have a stat for you, Claire, just to make sure you're not totally disappointed in me. Toulouse managed 4 turnovers. And Toulouse actually scored a try off. Munster were trying to work a phase play in midfield, but their attack broke down. I think the ball was at ruck time. The ball was badly placed. It came off. Patterson had just come on as scrum half. The ball came loose, and next minute, 2 passes and meters gained. The next minute was a try down the corner, and that just absolutely killed. That flattened Munster ultimately. I do think that they played reasonably well, Munster. Like their pack stood up. Like the Toulouse pack is fucking huge. Like Mayafo was 24 fucking stone, and they had one of the Arnold brothers in. They're absolute. There's a whole pile of beef there.
They're tanks.
No, a whole pile of beef. But they managed to, like, Munster, manned up. They stood up there. Their scrum was solid. John Ryan did a job. We can go back to him, I'm sure, later on.
Yeah.
So look. Yeah, there was 5 points in it. Like compared to last year, it was a different game entirely last year, different conditions, the whole lot. But I don't think Munster can be too disappointed. They've an awful lot to take from the game. They did an awful lot right. There was a few mistakes. Frisch was hot and cold. He tried. I'll give him that. But yeah, he did make mistakes, and arguably probably responsible for 1 or 2 of the tries. But look, Munster have plenty to move on from the game anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. James.
Yeah, difficult to watch on the TV. All right, yeah. I really hoped Munster would do it. I think they were leading at half time. Played well. Joey stood up. Good to see. But yeah, it's any team that you have Anton Dupont,
Roman Antonak.
and you have that quality there. You're going to be up against it. So yeah, could have been worse for Munster. They did well.
Thanks, James. Mr. Burke, you look like you're lost there.
No. Munster beat Toulouse. I think if I put it this way, I agree with everything that has been suggested and said already.
Ever the diplomat.
I know I am. No, but I do. I think we all make good points on occasion. I'd say one thing: if Toulouse were playing that game at home, Munster would have been fucking slaughtered.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is that the weather was a huge thing. I think Munster, Peter said it, or someone said, I think Peter said it. Munster were lucky to come away just losing that by 5 points. Carby goes over for a try after 10 minutes. And then after that, it was one-way traffic, really. But like Toulouse were a bit shell-shocked for about 7, 8, 10 minutes. And then they figured Munster out. And if Toulouse could do that, all other teams can do that. Like there's no shift in play. There's no change of game shift. Yeah, Carby had a great game. Big fucking whoop. Jesus, about fucking time that he had one. But really, Munster, we're still going. And Danny, we've spoken about this in our group chats before. Danny, I've said to you that it's going to take 8, 9, 10 games for Munster with the change of manager and all that to get into their rhythm. They're still not there. They're still not there. And I'm not just having an anti-Munster rant as I would normally do. Like I was looking at that game and I just thought, like, really, I worry when Munster go to Toulouse and play Toulouse at home that I think Toulouse will absolutely fucking wallop them. That's
oh yeah, they will.
Sure, Peter. I've said it in previous videos before.
You did. In fairness, you did.
Yeah, of this season alone. So to be honest, this is just trying to get everything together now this season. It takes that at least anyway. So
no, I know. I'm not, as I said, I normally won't
I know
a
what you're getting at, right? Yeah.
a slag and go with Munster. Exactly. There you go.
Are you finished now on your anti-Munster rant that you haven't had?
Go on.
Yeah.
Mike, did you see that game by any chance?
I did watch. Yeah.
And what is one thing of it?
I thought Munster started the game really well. I thought they really fronted up now against a massive French pack. I thought they got again. They don't get the base. They're not getting the basics right. That's the word. No, but I have to say this. I've watched most of Munster's games this season. And when I watched it, they played their first 2 games away in Wales, and they were absolutely dreadful. Yeah. And then they played in Galway, and they weren't much better. But there's been a vast improvement in the Munster game since that for me. I mean, I thought they were okay against Ulster. I thought they did actually reasonably well against Leinster without winning the game. And then they went to Edinburgh and had a great game. And I actually thought they played all right on Sunday. I thought I really like Craig Casey. I know you don't like it, Peter, but I think he's a live wire. I think he has the package, by the way.
Well, it's not that I don't like him. I just think there's more ahead of him in the national squad pecking order. I think he's fine for Munster. But
I don't see much ahead of him now. I really don't. I think the boy that's in the Irish team right now is ahead of him. Outside of that, I think he's the future. I really think he's the future. He reminds me an awful lot of
Don't say use Van der Westhuizen.
No. Behave yourself.
That's what
But no, hang on a sec. Well, I'm not talking.
Who does he remind you of?
He reminds me of Stringer.
Yeah,
I think he's very similar to Stringer. He's similar stature, similar. He's a live wire. He puts pace on the ball. He's a headless chicken at times. That's the thing. But he'll learn. He's only a young lad. Yeah. So he'll learn. No.
Although Mike Stringer, and I've said it before, Stringer has. I saw Stringer play live several times. The absolute masterclass of passing a rugby ball.
I've
ever seen.
He's Gareth Edwards like he was.
Well, whatever.
But he was the way he passed the ball. Like Gareth Edwards is probably the best passer of the ball. But anyway, I thought Carberry had a really steady game, and I think he's improving, which we need. Well, Ireland seem to have nailed their colours to the mast, like as regards a replacement for Sexton, which is very concerning because that is an issue, by the way, that's not being dealt with at all, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, but anyway, the Munster game, obviously the fog was a disaster. I genuinely thought the game's not going to continue, but it did, and it played out, and it cleared towards the end as it went on. But I thought Munster. I mean, the set piece was okay, the scrum was okay, like the line-out was okay, but
they still lost. They still lost.
Yeah, but Dupont was the difference. That is a special player.
That is.
I do think though that Ntamack is his game is gone to pot slightly.
Yeah.
I think Jaminet is going to take his place, by the way, in that French team. But
I think Jaminet is more of a full back down, Mike, I'd say.
No, Jaminet played in the autumns now because he's been injured. He's only come. Ntamack has only just come back, so he's only finding his way back, and he probably will find his way back, which is. But Jaminet looks a special player as well.
Yes.
If we're going to talk about the France, we'll revert it to Racing, the Racing game. Yeah.
I'm Peter's favourite player, Finn Russell.
Oh God.
Yes.
Your favorite player? Something wrong with you?
Yeah.
Finn Russell is amazing, isn't that right,
Yeah.
Peter? He is
One of
so
the best things out there.
one of the best rugby players in the world.
He's
That's
one
good.
score in
Player.
the Bravo with a
Probably
couple of
Dan
tennis,
Carter.
which is-
He's
I
something
think the only thing that hurts Peter Burke worse than a Finn Russell performance is a bleach burn.
Here, I have all your fucking Christmas cards here.
Ah,
Oh, they're deadly.
Careful
Yeah.
what you wish for, P.
Peter,
Uh,
respected love.
I have to be honest, by the way. I mean, I live in Scotland, and Finn Russell is very highly regarded by some people here, but other people don't. Now,
He's like Marmite. You love him or hate him.
no, he's
Yeah.
he's an absolute enigma. That's how he is, because he has all the tools. He just doesn't apply them properly.
He is a fucking tool.
Well, I think that's a bit unfair, Peter. I think he's a very talented player. I remember one particular game. He played against. He beat England at Twickenham. I think it's about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
On his own. The
Technically,
best
he
performance
didn't
I've seen
beat him.
from a 10.
Technically, he didn't beat him. Technically, it's a team sport. There isn't. Okay, you can always have a great player on the team.
Well-
But it's a team sport. No one player is going to beat them.
Well,
So
we
we're
all
gonna
remember.
back on that, and we're going to talk about the Leinster game. Peter, Leinster.
Me or Peter Martin?
Peter Brook.
Oh,
sorry.
all right. So, yes, it was a great win. It was a fantastic win. It was a masterclass by Leinster. I didn't expect a 32-point gap in the scoreline. Far from it. Racing our quality outfit. But watching that, it really brought home, you know, which I don't particularly like, this drive for 5, this fifth fucking star. Just play your games, get through your rounds, and if you get to the final, and just concentrate game by game by game. Don't start doing this. Oh, the 5th star is ours. That's a lot of bollocks. I'd say that to most Leinster supporters. Just shut up talking about that. Do your weeks, do your months, do your competitions, do everything. But just to bring it down to a game level, Racing 10, Leinster 42, although Racing weren't playing at home.
Also, with some lovely French rock band rocking it out in the La Defense Arena.
I told you, I sent you his name, Orleans or Orleans or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't give a bollocks anyway. So anyway, he was doing La Défense Arena, and they went up to Le Havre. So that would mean, and Claire, you said it last week, that it's a 3-hour journey. Would the fans travel? Who knows? Anyway, but anyway, to come back to it, Doris is man of the match. He was superb. Ringrose, Josh, Ed Byrne, 80 minutes. The problem there with, and it does permeate through some of the French teams, is their discipline. 2 yellow cards.
Yeah.
Man, the neck lad, what do you call him? Shat, right, on 30 minutes. And then Garek on 61 minutes. Like 2 yellow cards. You can't, like, a championship rugby level, you need to fucking, you know, wipe that out. But it was a great win for Leinster. It was a great boost on the road. Leinster showed their class. Great win. There you go.
Thank you. Peter Martin.
Dan Sheehan got his 22nd successful line-out throw in that competition.
That's yeah. I forgot about that. I have that written down, Danny. Sorry.
And I have said this: Dan Sheehan is a cheat code as a hooker. He is a cheat code as a hooker. He plays like a winger at times, and I'm just convinced he's a cheat code.
Yeah. He's very clever.
Right, I'm gonna go back to James, Mr. Grennan. It feels like I haven't said it all to you all night. I apologize. There's just so many of us.
How are you, Claire? How are you getting on?
Oh, James.
Come here. Racing v Leinster. That was a grand little warm-up game for the main event.
That's why I'm leaving it to last, James.
Nice little bit of
it to last. There's a plan of action here for it. Leaving it to last. What did they say? You leave the best to last.
Yeah. But I thought the Leinster Racing game was a nice warm-up for the main event of the evening. Anyway, I didn't get to see it, Claire. I was in the G Hotel being entertained with the hobnobs and the.
Yes.
Where? That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
pre
it's
match in the G with the great and the good of Connacht Rugby. So yeah,
That was a small crowd, James.
Yeah,
So 3 people there, was it, James?
touche.
Thank you, James. As I said, we get the best to last. I'll be back to you in a minute. Peter Martin.
Yeah, look, it was a statement attempt, I think, really by Leinster. It was kind of highlighted the issues about travel and so on beforehand, and they did what Ulster couldn't and go out and absolutely gave the opposition a lesson. Look, like the fact of the matter is that it would Leinster were very physical right into the 70th odd minute. They kept on playing, they kept on doing, they really kind of put the heel in the neck and kind of just really, really stamped home that try, that 10 points was hard won by Racing, calling a spade a spade. It was, a loose moment or whatever. But the aforementioned opposition 10 tried everything he could, and it didn't really kind of work. Everything just seems to that seems to be their game plan from what I could see of what Racing are trying to do, is that we have a joker literally at 10 and we'll just basically follow the leader around the pitch. Whatever he tries to do, we just be there to pick up the ball when he fires it inside, outside, up his backside, wherever the fuck it goes, and play off it. And all you have to do is just basically getting his head space, getting his personal space bubble, and wreck his head, and he's not a happy camper. So there you go, they lost.
Yeah, and that's why he's a spoofer. What Peter Martin just said there, that's why Russell is a fucking spoofer.
We know you have a man crush on him. You don't need to keep trying to hide it. We know you have a man crush. Just admit it, Peter. Just admit it.
You know who my rugby player man crush is, right?
Do we really want to hear this? We're trying to talk like rugby, not
I'm sure I told you. It's bad all day long.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Sarah Duffy, not about your rugby man crush. What did you think of the Leinster game?
Do I not get the same question?
Oh, okay. No,
I'm not playing this game anymore now.
Sarah, you can say he's a right if you like. It's all right.
I'm sure, like me, there's probably more than one.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Oh, I'd have to sit and think about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I seen this game and it was a great performance by Leinster. The line-out variation and the accuracy was just superb, I thought. And I loved the old tap penalty routine and then try. Oh, that was like rugby porn, Peter Martin. Rugby porn. I was like, yeah.
I was going to say something else there.
Go on, Renat, tell us, Peter.
No.
To be honest, I think that variation is key to win, to winning those kind of games. And Racing, they just couldn't read or get to grips with Leinster's game plan. And I think, obviously as a Leinster supporter, but you can't underestimate the importance of Ringrose growing into that captaincy role. I think he led 14-man Leinster to victory last week, and fair dibs to him. But it was a pleasure watching Leinster dismantle a very good Racing side, who sits second in the top 14. And my money is to, they'll go all the way now. So that's all I've got to say, really.
Thank you.
Except I want to talk about my crush, Anna.
Well, Sarah, we can do that on our own. We can do that on our own. We'll have that. Yeah. We'll have that discussion on Friday in the RDS when they're all walking past us.
Oh,
yeah. Rugby.
Yeah.
Hello.
Talk to you then, hon. Talk to you then, hon.
Might not get barred. Sorry. Now back to rugby. And as I promised Mr. Grennan
on Friday, can't get barred.
Yeah. As I promised Mr. Grennan, I'm leaving the best to last, and I'm coming to you. Connacht versus. I have to look at the name. Connacht versus Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah. Couple of great highlights from the day. I was half cut by the time I got walked up to the match. We got hot whiskies for the journey up from the GO the match, so we were half cut going in, but it was a great atmosphere. Good win. The new lights, they nearly gave half the crowd an epileptic fit. They started every time we got a try. There was a big flashing of lights, and they were playing the Body Rockers. I Like the Way You Move was the song now when a try is scored. So
and I'm sure you were throwing the shapes, James. I'm sure you were throwing the
Say
shapes.
you're moving to that, James. All right, with a few hot whiskies in you.
I can picture it.
Yeah. So it was good atmosphere, good evening, and a great win. We're sweating a bit over Mac Hansen. He got injured, and we're sweating a bit for his fitness for the upcoming matches over the Christmas season. So hopefully he'll be back. He has a bit of a leg injury there, so hoping he'll be back for the matches over the Christmas.
Good to see Adam Bourne score a try.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was good to see him back out playing and.
Yeah,
scoring.
he had absolutely no right to get through those. Like, I think it was 5 defenders between him and the try line, and he got through them. Like, he had absolutely no right to get through there. It was right in front of us.
That was a ridiculous try.
And then we had of course the other former Leinster player getting the conversion, and who was sending me that smart Harlequin text saying lovely to see Leinster scoring 7 points in the sports crowd.
Yes. Did you send that, Peter?
No, I didn't say that. No, wasn't me.
It was none of you. Yeah. I have more Leinster friends than you know.
Great bollox there from Connacht there, opening his mouth.
Okay. Thanks, James. Mr. Brosnan, I haven't forgotten about you, even though it seems like I have. There's just too many people. I can't remember.
Don't apologise, Claire. Don't.
I just you know me. I'll just talk and talk and talk, and you can all just.
Claire, we love listening to you.
Yeah, I know. I've been to games with you.
I know. You can sort it down now for me, Mr. Brooke. Anyway, Mr. Brosnan.
The PA system doesn't work. Anyway.
No, great start to the Challenge Cup campaign by Cork, that one. Adam Burns' try was, as I said, it was absolutely ridiculous. There's no way a player should have scored that one. And to be honest with you, I'd say it's probably the try of the weekend in both competitions. And it's that good, but
no, Ringrose second try.
No, go to spirit in that one, bro.
Oh.
Go to spirit in that one. No, I think Burns is better. Burns is better, but no. To be honest with you, it's a good start anyway. So fair play to anyway. Well on that one.
Thanks, Danny. Mr. Martin, have another staff for you. I actually have another staff for you on this game. God, I'm getting good. 14-8 at half time, 22-8 at full time. Another team going 40 minutes without scoring a point in the second half.
This day and age, can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that, lads.
It's not the recipe for winning games, anyway.
No. Very true, Mike. Very true.
It's just.
Mike, did you see the game?
I didn't see the game. No, Saturday's is a bit of a bad one for me at the moment. I work 6 days a week at the moment because of the.
Oh, I thought you were day drinking.
No.
He's not going to say that. Like, we're the only ones that say that on this.
I'm a bloody courier now. That's what I do now. I for the last since the first lockdown. That's why I do. Deliver parcels.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
To deliver mine that the Royal Mail have been keeping hold of for the past fucking 5 days. Could you go and get that for me and bring it over to me?
Okay, back to rugby. Back to rugby.
But I'm really impressed with Connacht, by the way.
Their jersey colour or what?
Sorry?
Put up, Burke.
Their jersey is actually not bad.
He's talking.
I like their jersey. I think their white one is nicer.
I don't think it's too bad.
No, I like watching Connacht play rugby. I think they're just enjoying to watch. But I didn't see the game at all now, and I haven't seen any of it. But that's a great result. And listen, any victory in Europe these days is a pretty good result.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't see the Leinster game either, and I have to be honest, without having seen it, I think Leinster will run away with this competition. I really do.
I hate when people say that.
Stafford teams will have something to do.
Oh,
say
no,
about that.
listen,
Fucking hate when people say that.
Peter, they're just strong in every position, and they have at least 2 players strong in every position. They're the best. There's no. I mean, people talk about Toulouse. Leinster are the best team in Europe. There's no question about it for me.
La Rochelle.
I think La Rochelle are extremely dangerous looking again at this stage.
I think we have to reset the whole thing about who the best team in Europe. You can say the best team in Europe and then the best team in the competition.
Yeah,
The best team in Europe may not be
yeah.
the team that will win the competition.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
Well,
because we have Stafford
that's
teams in it.
yeah, but Leinster know how to win games. Leinster know how to win games. Now they threw it away last year, really, but they know how to. They've learned from that, I think, and they know how to close out a game now against. Look what they did against Ulster. They gave Ulster a head start and reined them in and absolutely mullered them in the second half. It was almost like the final against Northampton. Was it Northampton? They came back in the second.
Yeah. 20. What was that? 20, 30. What was that? 20. Fucking hell.
Cardiff.
Yeah.
Mike, would you be of the opinion there? You're saying that Leinster came back and did a number on Ulster. Do you think that was what do you think that was more of? That Leinster were just simply outstanding, or that Ulster literally just basically shit the bed and they kind of gave up, or was it a combination?
It was a combination of both. But I think when Leinster get going, they're like a bit like Ireland in a way. You know, well, they are practically most Ireland players, but like when they get a stranglehold of a game, it's very, very hard to get to wrench it from them. I just think they're probably one of the only teams in the competition that can afford to lose a player and still like they'll always have somebody to replace anybody.
Yeah. Well, they've also gone through bad times. I'm just aware of time. I'm going to reel things back in here for a minute because I still have a couple of things that we need to discuss. Right, quickly, we're going to discuss. I don't know if anyone's seen it. The POW coach grabbing the ref last weekend. Wayne Barnes came out in an interview and saying that his kids and his wife were threatened.
The referee. The referee's wife and kids were threatened.
Do we think there's something sinister creeping in, and probably putting in Bernard Laporte getting done for whatever he got done for?
What about next weekend's games?
I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do 5 minutes on this, and then I'm going to do next weekend's games. That's what I'm doing.
So impatient, Peter. So impatient.
That's why I want to get this. Is like going to get. We have another 2 minutes to discuss the 3 things I'm at talking about. Then we're going to do next week's games.
Don't be afraid to tell him pissed off and shut up. You're talking.
That's what you should have said, Claire. Claire, that's what you should have said. Knowing me and us and the way we are, you should have said, Burke, shut the fuck up.
Take us up your dynamite.
Or
go for a piss, whatever.
What?
Just
do
we think? I know we like to give out about refs, and I know we do give out about refs. But is there a place for someone putting their hands on a ref, or someone?
Never.
He should be banned for life. He should be banned from even attending rugby matches for life.
Absolutely. The respect is the foundation of rugby game, and respect for ref. And I saw a picture during the week there showing that there was a referee who was maybe 5'5", and he was chatting to 2 players that were 6'7", 6 foot.
Yeah,
and they were completely respectful of what he was saying, and that's the way it should. That's absolutely the way it should be. There's no place for that in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we go away from that, taking into account the actual physical size of players, it could go beyond repair, and that is the foundation. That is the whole etiquette of rugby. If we deviate in any shape or form from that, we've lost. I've
from the time I was involved in rugby with young kids, I have a saying: the ref is always right, even if he's wrong. He is the one who makes the decision on the pitch, and you have to respect him. You can give out about the decision, you can complain, it can be cited, but you respect his decision because he is out there every day.
Thank you.
Now, get back to for Peter Brooks OCD. We're going to discuss next week's game because we only have a few minutes.
No, I don't. We're at. Hold on a second now. I'll tell you without asking Pete.
We're
I'll
on,
tell you
we're
now.
on about 50 minutes.
Oh, go on, ask.
We're on 50 minutes. Go on.
How did I
fuck?
guess that? Right, we've got more than 4 games, but we'll do the four.
Provinces.
Thank you. The 4 province games. 2 home teams, 2 away. So you've Leinster and Gloucester playing at home, and you've Ulster and La Rochelle playing at home. Both maybe in the same ground, but we'll find out more. So Leinster Gloucester on Friday, Peter.
Leinster should win that.
Okay.
The only caveat is, well, sorry, there's no caveat, but I'm just looking at the like Gloucester have their injuries. Leinster are still sweating on Sexton and Furlong. Now, whether they're needed is another question. But like Gloucester aren't a bad team and they have their own injury worries. So, but I'm going to go with Leinster. I'm going to go with Leinster comprehensively, 10 to 15 points.
Thank you. Danny Brosnan.
Oh, I'll go Leinster to beat Colchester. And sorry,
Gloucester. Who the fuck are Gloucester? Who's Gloucester?
Because you can't beat a
That's his name.
Kerry man, can you?
Mike,
You can't be a Kerry man, by the way. They have their own fucking dialect, their own
Yeah.
thing going.
No, the subtitles don't work anymore, Danny, you know. So
That's
it's like, look,
Good man, Danny. I like to hear
Derek
that.
speak punchy Buck.
Okay. Mike,
Fuck,
Mike,
Gloucester. Who the
Oh,
fuck?
Leinster will hammer them.
okay.
Absolutely,
Peter
yeah.
Martin.
yeah, Leinster to win. I don't know who's injured with Gloucester, but Ackerman in the back row for Gloucester is class act. Is your man 12-3 still playing for Gloucester?
No, Johnny May and Louise Rees-Zammit are there.
Yeah, Sam is
Well,
good.
look, the way it is, you
Oh, you
starve
talking
out-
about spoofers?
starve those boys of ball.
Well, I think Johnny May's a bit of a spoofer. Louise Rees-Zammit is not a spoofer. Sorry, Pete, go on.
Yeah.
Go on, Peter.
Anyways, those two lads you just mentioned, starve them a space and ball, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's you're cutting down their danger man.
Yeah.
So Leinster,
thank you.
should have this one.
James.
Yeah, Leinster.
No, thank you. And Sarah, I don't. While we're
100%.
there, we will watch the rugby. We won't obviously watch them going past. We will actually watch the rugby this time, right?
Yeah. My husband's driving, so yeah, I'll watch rugby and I'll drink, and then he'll have to bring me home.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's
Yeah.
a perfect.
I couldn't even leave Dublin. I could be abandoned up there, but anyway.
Come to my house. Fine, you're more than welcome.
Stop, Claire, stop. I'll tell him that.
No,
I-
these again.
I
Okay.
kick off an argument just to so, go on, you go home then. Go on, leave me here.
By the way, lads, if anyone doesn't hear from me and Sarah Duffy sometime Saturday, send out a search party because we're probably
MIA.
missing
Arrested.
Dublin somewhere. Sorry, Sarah.
I'll be in Dublin Saturday, so I'll keep an eye out for you.
Are you in Dublin Saturday, Danny?
Yeah.
What are you
Keep
doing?
your
Buying
phone on.
heifers or what are you doing?
Where are you going drinking?
Wanking
We'll
or
find you.
what are you doing? Putting a cock into your mouth? What are you doing?
We're okay. Okay.
I'm
We're
from Munster. I know Leinster daily, but I don't be putting it in me now.
Give us a shout, Danny. I'll see if I'm around. I'll meet you for a coffee or something.
What?
Which
No,
means-
never
means
mind him. I'll meet you
Uh,
for pints. Me and Claire meet you for pints.
No, I can't go
Oh,
to.
look,
I can't
listen,
go-
lads.
Oh, jeez.
Claire,
Go
they
on,
sort
go on,
this
go
out
on.
in
It's like, go
Ireland.
on. Claire, take control. Take control.
Okay, we really and truly, I know the way we like them off, but we really truly have to get back to rugby. So I take that's all of us going for a Leinster win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ulster versus La Rochelle. After last week, the fact that it could be moved to the RDS, the fact that it's La Rochelle who are playing great, who are we going for?
No question.
La Rochelle.
La Rochelle.
Jeez,
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I'm worried. I'm worried about fucking for Ulster in this one.
Yeah.
I really am. This
Yeah.
could get even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
This could be a case of Danny's imitation.
Well, true, Danny.
Do you know
True,
something?
Mike.
Do you know something? By the way, it's actually the ideal time for Ulster to fucking front up. They have to either front up now or give up because this
Well,
is
sure.
this.
Against
I know
our,
they did.
oh, I don't. Yeah.
They're still 15 against 15, by the way, and they're not. And those 15 players playing for Ulster, nearly all international rated players.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be. I mean, if they're playing at home, okay, it's at the RDS, it's still at home. It's not home for the French team anyway, and they have to front up, or it's disaster.
Front up or fuck off. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's home for us.
But
Breve and Connacht. Who do we think?
Connacht.
Connacht.
Yeah,
Okay.
Connacht can do it.
Connacht, because if they can't beat a fucking lump of cheese, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Brie, not Brie.
I actually think I think about Connacht, by the way. Connacht can go away and play as well away as they do in Galway. They're just they have no fear. They don't play with any kind of fear. I think. I fancy Connacht to go and get a win there. I do.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as they never get that ref that they had last weekend.
Oh,
your man, Sarah. Jesus.
That's the ref that done the Leinster game, wasn't it, Peter? When we were in the RDS.
Well,
Your man whose teeth has his own OnlyFans fucking account.
Oh no, yeah, that's the Welsh ref. That's the Welsh ref. Yeah, I actually got a photograph of him in the RDS one day.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, I was standing fucking.
Oh,
too far away.
only fans actually got a photograph.
Photograph of him and his teeth are sparkling. Someone went to Turkey for their teeth.
Go on.
Sorry. Right, again, back to rugby. And the last one is Northampton versus Munster.
I fancy Munster on that one now.
Munster.
Well, I do fancy Munster because
Yeah.
Northampton have been playing well, but they've been only playing well for spots of the games. They play well for about.
Northampton are fucking shit, for Christ's sake. They're fucking second from bottom or third from bottom in the fucking Premiership, whatever the fuck it is. Munster should win this. If Munster don't beat Northampton, go away, lads. Go home, retire, fuck off.
There's the Peter Brook rant that we've been all waiting on since the start of the night.
That's not a fucking rant. I've had a couple of rants. That's not a rant. That's just a.
You have about 2.5 minutes left if you want to go on a rant.
No, I don't want. I'm not doing a rant.
Take us up a Heineken.
No, Grant. No, this is my last. This is my last show till January because I have to. No, fuck. I have to.
Oh, let it all hang out then, Burke.
No, I'm not. Peter Martin, Sarah Duffy, Claire, James, Danny, Richard, whoever, take over, do your thing. I won't be here. The first Wednesday in January, I'll be back. There you go.
You have to give us a Christmas rant.
That's threat or promise.
That's a promise. I'm not giving you a rant, which is fuck off. Go on. Just mention Finn Russell there. Go on. No, I don't. I'm not mentioning.
For the Christmas
Zebo.
All right, 3 players, fucking Elton Jantis, Finn Russell, and fucking Simon Zebo, the most overrated fuckers that the rugby planet has ever fucking seen.
But they're not.
There's my rant.
They're not. I'll tell you why they're not.
Simon Zebo. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
I'll tell you why. Simon Zebo was only ever rated in Munster anyway, so he's not rated.
There you go. He's only rated in Munster. I love
he is,
that.
To be fair. He is. Where else has he ever been rated? I have to be honest. I like Zebo. I don't anymore. I don't think. I think he should. Munster should fucking cut him loose now. He's no use.
There you go. Totally agree.
And Elton Jantis has never been rated by anybody.
He's a lot of bollocks.
Except for physiotherapist.
Right, lads. Thank you, and to all our listeners, we will be honest. We're not sure if this band of merry people will be back together again next week due to Christmas. People are on travels, Christmas wishes. So from us all, if we don't talk to you, we would like to wish us all a Merry Christmas. Any lads, anything else to say? Any of you?
Can I just say one thing? Oh, sorry, James.
Sorry, great to have Mike for this evening.
Good man, Mike. Fair play.
Well, thanks very much, guys. I've really enjoyed it, and I'd like to wish everybody a happy Christmas. And
many happy returns, Chief.
I'd love to get across. I'd love to get across for one of the Six Nations games, but
Mike, Happy Hogmanay.
Happy Hogmanay.
Hogmanay, yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Well,
Thanks,
listen,
Mike.
take care, guys. It's been fabulous talking to you all.
And I will say to my esteemed colleagues, Peter Martin, James Grennan, Sarah Duffy, Claire, Danny, Richard, who's unfortunately not here. I'll see you in January. Mike Reedy, we might see you again in the new year for a guest appearance, and thoroughly enjoyed your company. Folks, I'll see you in January. What do you, as you all know, we'll talk.
Yeah, Sarah just say something there as well.
Can I just jump in and just congratulate the Wicklow Town women who won the Energy All Ireland, the AIL.
I knew you were
they're champions, and they won at the weekend. It's their second time in that league, their second season, and they came short last season, and it's a massive step for them, and they beat the Galwegian women. I know it's a bit sensitive to James there, but they played out of their skin. And they beat them 22-17, and it was such an achievement for such a young team. And on that note, I'd just like to wish you all a very happy Christmas, and everyone that's listening, and all the IRB group. Lads, you made a year very, very pleasurable for me to be part of anyway. And even on the shittiest days, I look forward to this every Wednesday when I can make it. Thanks a million.
Everyone.
I'm going to put this out. If you do not hear from me and Sarah Duffy by Saturday morning, send help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send help.
Bye.
In 3, 2, 1, we are stopping recording. Good night, folks. Good luck and take care.
Bye.
Bye.